What I have right here are the latest generation Meta Ray-Ban smart glasses, and we're going to go ahead and compare it against the latest generation Oakley's Meta smart glasses that recently got released. As even though their travel case looks 100% different compared to the other Meta glasses that we have available in the market, the Ray-Bans and the Oakleys, aside from the camera, as well as the improved battery life that's found in the new Oakleys from the previous generation Ray-Ban smart glasses, they're actually pretty similar. So in this video, I'm going to go ahead and run through the differences between these two smart glasses in their own category. So of course, I'll be sure to include timestamps of everything in the video description down below for your pleasure. So this way, if you're shopping around, you know exactly which one is the right one for you. Let's begin. Let's talk about the designs. The Ray-Bans actually offer a lot more different styles to choose from, as not only do you have access to the Wayfarers, you have the Highlander, as well as the recently added Skyliners. And you have a lot of different configuration options in terms of body color as well as lens to choose from. These Oakleys, they only come available in this style that you see here. And this is based off Oakley's existing HSTN model. And later down the line, we will have more color options to choose from, like black to a different lens configuration. But since these are the launch editions, these recently got released, the other additional color options will be available later down the line at the end of summer. But both will have access to both clear lens, transparent lens, shift between outdoors and indoors, as well as polarized lens. And if you need prescriptions, you could also get prescription lens on both of these two models. Just the Ray-Bans are able to do that right now. Oakley's hasn't got that part open yet on their website. So upon launch, no prescription option as of yet, but it is confirmed that they will add that later on. But in terms of their overall designs, both look very similar, as they feature the camera outline for both the LED as well as the camera housing. And on top, on the right portion, you have a shutter button as well, still located in the same exact identical spot compared against the Ray-Bans. The hardware where everything goes are located on the arm, and they both have the same thickness. Just the Oakleys are kind of pointy on this end portion, because if we overlap them, you'll notice that the Oakleys kind of do like squeeze your head a little bit more. For me personally, I am able to comfortably wear these and do active activities, but over time, the squeeze on the side does become noticeable and does become uncomfortable to the point where I have to take these off like in the second hour after wearing these. Same thing usually happens with these, but I do find the Ray-Bans to be much more comfortable thanks to that hook design again. Regardless, when it comes to microphone quality, both sound 100% identical. To demonstrate how good the active noise cancellation is, if you can hear outside, my neighbors are actually mowing their lawn right now. And not only that, I also have the washer running. And you should still be able to verbally hear me and understand me. There's the washer, sorry for the mess. That's my doggo. And yeah, lawnmower and the washing machines are going. Oh yeah, and also the dryer. And audio is not bad. Alright, and the best way to do this is to drive country roads during a windy day. And yes, I am wearing the glasses, and it is indeed recording. Unfortunately, I took the quietest car that we have because the spouse took the Blackwing. But, I mean, wind noise, oh god, fire. And I believe you should still be able to hear me just fine. Now keep in mind, this is like literally worst case scenario. If you're bicycling or something like that, and this is the windy environment you have to deal with, and you happen to accidentally pick up a call, yeah, I think it's doing a good job, don't you think? Let me know in the comments. And they both have an LED indicator located on the exact similar spot right here on the side of your peripheral when you're wearing your glasses to know when your glasses are recording or done recording after taking a video or a photo. So what is the true differences between these two smart glasses? Aside from the overall look and design choices that you have, they're still powered by Meta. So they both have the same exact access to the same Meta AI. Both continue to have the same open ear design underneath the arms right here, which allows you to listen to audio as well as other media sources while delivering, surprisingly, really good audio quality. Both connect to the same Meta app, which allows you to actually stream live feed live to a person, kind of like FaceTime calling. They have that ability, as well as alert me when I receive a text message or an incoming call, and I can just pick up by a simple tap. The only main differences between these two is that this is a second generation Meta glasses, and these are technically the third generation, which means they receive better battery life on the Oakleys, and the 12 megapixel ultra wide camera sensor has been upgraded to the point where these can now record 3K, where the Ray-Bans, these can record only 1080p. And both have the same IPX4 water resistant. So if it starts raining while you're wearing these, or you get water on your person, they'll be able to survive that. So if it really just comes down to primarily camera specs, here's a side-by-side comparison on how these look like. So the thing with the Ray-Bans, they will be able to get the job done regardless on what kind of content you're shooting. But personally, I do prefer the 3K resolution that the Oakleys have, because as soon as you start zooming in or cropping in to give yourself a landscape view point of view, the details that the Oakleys can capture are much more usable, especially when it comes to like content creating. But when it comes to capturing moments or using these glasses like a dash cam like I personally like to do, both are much quicker than having to take the time and grab your phone out of your pocket just to take a photo. With these, a simple press down on the shutter button on the right side will immediately capture a photo or a video much faster during the incident or after the incident right then and there. And then the storage capacity is exactly the same. Both have internal storage up to 32 gigabytes, which allows these two glasses to record up to 100 videos or take 500 photos without fear of running out of storage. And the video clips can be as long as 3 minutes each. And even though both of them have HDR enabled, I noticed that the HDR, the image quality that these two can capture, they never overdo it. The quality is really good, especially outdoors or even indoors. The only downside is both of them continue to have the Instagram Reel ratio when it comes to recording, so you have a portrait mode and you're stuck. But again, you can always just crop in to make it a landscape in case you need it for FOV shots, which is how I typically use them. But when it comes to doing activities, even full sprint or even the most bumpiest road, I noticed these two cameras are always able to stabilize the footage extremely well, very similar to like an action camera. So I have no complaints there whatsoever. And when it comes to overall audio quality for picking up calls and stuff like that, I notice these perform extremely well. Sometimes even better than over-the-ear headphones, I notice. And then when it comes down to the controls, remember as I previously stated, controls are exactly the same. They will automatically shut off as soon as you fall down the arms. But you do have a manual override switch right here, which you can enable to manually turn these on or turn them off. And then on the side here is a touchpad, which means you can increase the audio or decrease the audio by simply sliding your finger forward or back. And these also have media control, so a tap will pause or play or resume your video, double tap will go to the next track, triple tap will take you back to your previously listened track. 100% identical, nothing new here. And then if we put on one of these set glasses and we go onto our phone and we launch the Meta app, if you tap the settings, all the settings are 100% identical, including like the gesture controls for the touchpad, which means you can program to launch like shortcuts like Apple Music or Spotify if you're on Android. And you also have triple tap ability to launch the Meta AI, but you can also launch Meta AI by just saying, "Hey Meta," which is starting to listen to me right now. So if I quickly switch glasses right now, and now we're using the Oakleys, again, everything's 100% identical to the Ray-Bans. It's just the external brand that you're choosing. Hardware is primarily identical, including the UI. You even have live translation as well, but it's only supported in a few languages like Spanish, French, and Italian. But when it comes to overall battery life, hands down, the Oakleys is the one that does deliver higher battery life, as the Oakleys are advertised to be able to last up to 5 hours of continuous audio listening. But it all varies if you're watching movies, recording, taking photos. But realistically, while just casually using it and listening to like audio for like reels or phone calls, the Oakleys are advertised to be able to last up to 8 hours, but for my real world experience, I come close to like 7 hours. Now with the Ray-Bans, the one I'm wearing, these are advertised to be able to last up to 5 hours under a single charge. And realistically, after general usage in the real world, these come close to like 4 hours. But if I take the travel case for the Oakleys, the battery inside the travel case charges via the same terminals that's located underneath the sunglasses. So if we attach with the case in total, it's able to give it an additional 48 hours of battery life. The Ray-Bans has a slightly smaller case, but these will give these glasses an additional 38 hours of battery life. And both charge via USB-C down here. But aside from that, there really isn't much of an advantage aside from its battery as well as the camera quality, as both, again, they have access to the same Meta features. I could ask Meta to send a text message to somebody, reply on my behalf, identify trees or other plants, including ask these glasses to solve mathematical questions by just simply moving the sheet of paper right in front of it. We'll take a photo, scan it, and we'll tell you how to answer the equation. Solve this equation I'm looking at.
X equals 12.
It's pretty handy. Everything you could imagine ChatGPT is able to do, Meta AI can also do that, but its advantage is the fact that it has a camera. So if you have like an article in front of you, you could tell it to summarize the article, it will take a photo, and then Meta will verbally tell you the summary in your ear, and it works 98% of the time. So, what are the cons when it comes to using these two smart glasses? Well, to be honest, these Oakleys, they look weird. It's all personal preference on styles and stuff like that. But since these are the launch edition, these are the only colors that comes available. It's also the most expensive because it has the polarized lens. But there's also cheaper alternatives, which will bring down the cost of $100, competitively priced with the Ray-Bans. But these are the only models that these come with, which feature like a sporty, futuristic vibe, I guess, design. All personal preference. Personally, the Ray-Bans does feature a lot more models to choose from. So it's easier to suit more people in their personality, design, choice, and such. And then the Oakleys only come available in one size choice to choose from, and that is these. So I highly recommend, if you're planning on picking these up, just go to like a Sun Hut or some type of sunglasses stores that carry Oakley and try out their smart glasses because, again, they can be a little bit tight, especially if you're known to have a wider face. But a massive con, in my opinion, is the fact that for glasses that cost over $300, there's no like smart Find My feature. So if you lose one of these, it's game over. There's no way to like break the device if someone steals it from you, or if you misplace it, there's no way you could backtrack. And then when it comes to taking photos, if you're doing like group gatherings, you have to inform everybody to hold still for one more second, because as soon as you hit the shutter button, it takes a second later for it to take a photo. Now I do understand why Meta decided to do this. Both of these have that second delay. It's probably due to the fact that you don't want to take a photo when your thumb or hand is like covering the camera. It gives you time to at least clear that out before taking a shot. And then another con is the third generation of Ray-Ban glasses is coming out in the near future, which will have the upgraded 3K recording resolution camera, as well as the same battery life that's currently found on the Oakleys. The reason why this is a con because there's no date when this will be coming out. So it's just a risk that you're going to have to take if this rumor is true. But other than that, there you guys have it. That is a deep, in-depth comparison when it comes to choosing between one or the other. If you were to ask me which one I will personally choose, I'll probably still continue using the Oakleys. Just because I'm a content creator, having a higher resolution camera makes it better for viewers to enjoy your content online. So that's the reason why I'm picking these. But if I personally wasn't a content creator, I honestly, hands down, I think the best value is the Ray-Bans. They feature much more styles to choose from, and I think they're a little slightly more comfortable to wear. And even though it has a lower battery life, it doesn't take that long to fully charge these if you put it back in the case. And then if you're really trying to preserve the battery life, again, you can always just turn these off and actually treat them like regular sunglasses. And then once you're ready to record, just turn them on and they instantly connect. But there we have it. That's the in-depth comparison when it comes to choosing between the Oakleys or the Ray-Bans. So let me know in the comment section which one of these did you end up going for. Anyways, if you wish to watch more, maybe you'd like to see an in-depth review of both the Oakleys or the Ray-Bans, I do the individual reviews right here. Thank you so much for watching.